this engagement aligns with the National Marine and Blue Economy Policy, for 2024 to 2034. It's a 10-year plan that was released on the website of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy for those who are interested in knowing the source of the policy. And the reason why the policy is important is because the policy helps to guide participation and activity and investment decisions that will be made in the blue economy. And for those of us who are joining this platform or hearing about the blue economy for the first time, the blue economy is basically sustainable use of our ocean resources. And we who are blue economists, as I like to call ourselves, are very concerned about how we harness the resources of our oceans. The oceans surround the earth. Most of the earth is 70% water. That automatically lets you know that the wealth of the oceans is by far or 70 times more than what you can get on the earth, right? So it's important that we have this understanding. There's so much wealth to be generated from the ocean that belittles even what you can get on the land. Having said that, we want to encourage our people to understand how to harness these resources, taking advantage of public-private partnerships. So in this inaugural meeting or this first edition, we are going to be engaging stakeholders who are authorities in their own rights that will speak to the theme. Remember, I said the theme is about unlocking the blue economy for South-South development strategies for 2025. Every engagement that is supposed to yield successful outcomes needs strategizing. And that is why we are bringing both representatives of the public sector and representatives of the private sector together to come and speak to the theme and help guide public interest and investment in the sector. So, without further ado, I want to introduce our panelists. But before I do that, I would like to introduce the president of the coalition of the South-South Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, on whose platform that this program is being organized. So, our honorable president, wants to give you an opportunity to give your welcome address. His name is no other than his name is Honorable Idutimi Komonibo. He is the president of Cossccima, that's the coalition I've just mentioned, and also a national vice president for the National Association of Chambers of Commerce. You're welcome, sir.
Mr. Felix, you are muted. Please, you could check if you mind checking your volume.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you heard me introduce the president, right?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so I'm trying to reach out to him because I'm still getting messages that people are finding it difficult to access their link or something. So I just want to encourage us, if you have friends who are finding it difficult and they reached you, please ask them to go to their emails and use that email link sent to them to register. To access this webinar. If they've registered, all they need to do is just access the webinar through the link sent to their email address. Mr. Wanka is trying to reach me. He's saying that something about his network. So I want to crave our audience indulgence to just give me like a minute to get one of our panelists to come on board. Just give me a minute, please. Let me try and reach him. Thank you very much.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
No, there's somebody else calling me. I don't know who it is.
Okay, then you might need to mute your microphone.
Did.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Oh,
Please, ladies and gentlemen, we're still waiting for our president to join.
Have you put a call across to him?
Please, somebody should do that for me.
Okay. Okay, let me
So I don't
see.
multitask here. This is not the time for me to be multitasking. No, I sent you the link email. Okay, let me. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting feedback from individuals who are saying they cannot join for reasons I cannot explain. So I apologize on behalf of the organization. With the link that got everybody here into this link was shared on different platforms, but this is to be expected that every now and then people will call and still want to confirm one thing or another. I mean, it's the challenge we're having in Nigeria. So to all our guests who are in this platform, we want to crave your indulgence to excuse the interruptions, as I'm getting direct calls from people who do not understand that the program has begun. And sadly, one or two of them are our panelists, but hope that sooner or later the issues will be addressed. So every now and then we may pause the program just to make sure our panelists are all on board to give their presentations at the time it is expected. So thank you very much. So I'm still trying to reach out to the president, and he's supposed to give his opening speech before we commence. I want to ask that the technical send a link that the panelists can use to me on WhatsApp, so I can forward it to them individually, because I'm still getting messages of trying to get access to this platform. It's very, very confusing, but we're on top of it, and we'll try to see that everybody gets carried along. So just bear with us. We'll soon kick off, and it will be worth your wait. Thank you very much. For those of us who are sending messages online to me and me from the platform, from the Zoom link, we will get to that after we read our housekeeping rules. So just bear with us for another, to be up to 5 minutes before we resolve this matter.
Please, Mr. Fidelis, I just sent you a message, both on WhatsApp and SMS. Please read.
Somebody's trying to reach me. Who is somebody speaking on the platform?
Andasi was trying to reach you. He said he has sent a message to you on your WhatsApp and as SMS. So you need to go through it and
While we're waiting for the president, what I'll do is maybe I'll just give one or two inside information. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we apologize and we crave your indulgence. Please, we're having issues with some of our guests and people members trying to access this link. And sadly, one or two of them are actually panelists who are supposed to be speaking to this theme and on this occasion. And they are reaching me directly. And so that's why every now and then you see I step out to try to attend to them. It is regrettable, and we hope that you will be.
I'm on board now. Thank you very much, DG.
We thank God. Thank you. Welcome, Chief Christopher Chukura. Good to have you.
Thank you.
And welcome, Mr. Ahmad Wanka. I can see that you finally joined. And
thank you. I've joined.
Yeah. Technical, please, if you can help guide the president, do that for us so that he can join us as soon as possible. So like I was saying earlier on, and this is just by way of buying time until we are able to get our president's attendance to this program. So like I was saying earlier, the blue economy is a very rich horizon awaiting all of us in the South to participate and to get involved and to address some of our economic challenges that we've been having over the years. So we believe that through such engagement between public and private interests, that we as a people in the South, and not just in the South, but in the whole of Nigeria, can access these great opportunities guided by the national policy on marine and blue economy that was recently published on the website of the Ministry of the Marine and Blue Economy. So we believe that with this, so many people can be guided and also access on different levels, whether on a small level or on a big level. So I want to, before I continue, is the president with us now? You can send me a message just to confirm. Okay, so the president has been reached and he will join us shortly. I want to, at this stage, introduce Ambassador Christabel Ndubisi to, as we wait for our president, to give us a perspective on this program and what our participants are going to gain from joining this program. Ambassador Christabel, please unmute yourself so that you can join in just speaking, because you are the moderator, but for now, just help to give some insights to our participants on what to expect. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone, and Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cossccima Blue Economy
Good morning.
webinar.
Good morning, madam.
Good
You're
morning.
Good
welcome.
morning,
Good
madam.
morning, Ambassador.
Good morning,
The
madam.
Thank you.
shining ambassador.
Good
She's
morning,
shining.
Thank you,
Good morning,
everyone.
Ambassador, and happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Yes, happy
Thank
birthday.
you, sir.
Wow.
Happy
Happy
Thank you.
birthday,
Thank you.
madam. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. This is very laudable event that the Cossccima South area of the NACIMA Chambers of Commerce is putting together for us all to be able to be illuminated on the opportunities that are hanging or available for all of us to take. As a Chamber of Commerce, as you know, our goal and objective is to facilitate and advocate for increase in trade, increase in income, increase in capacity, and sustainability. And so this program is actually put together by the Cossccima to be able to bring every player into the zoom into this area of our resources. The blue economy, as you know, as the policy was just passed, is an area that is a very low-hanging fruit for, if not for any other zone in the Federation. The South area is a low-hanging fruit for us. With more than 560 kilometers of our coastal line in the South area, we are sitting at a pyramid of opportunities. And as a Chamber of Commerce operating in this area, we deemed it fit to be able to illuminate our thinking, to bring our thoughts into it, to bring every stakeholder into it, for us to leverage and take advantage of this great resource that we have outside the oil and gas. South area has been known for oil and gas for decades now, but it is time for us to look at the resource we have with the blue economy. And that is why Cossccima deemed it fit. I'm in a lecture class. Thank you. No, ma, I'm just so passionate about opportunities that are in front of us. And I'm happy that we are all hooked up in this webinar to be able to get first-hand information from all these great participants and all these great panelists we have in front of us today. So you are all welcome. Relax and be ready to learn, and with your paper and pen, be ready to be part of this webinar. Thank you so much, and God bless you all for coming. Thank you. I remain your own Ambassador Christabel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ambassador. We're very grateful. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the panelists. And hopefully, after the introductions, then in the sequence by which I introduce, they will also give their presentations for at least less than 7 to maybe 8 minutes presentation. And then we go into the Q&A, which Ambassador Christabel will also take. And before we now open the floor for the public to ask their questions, 3 questions, not too many questions. Time is going. The general housekeeping rule is that if you have a question, indicate it, mute yourselves. Everyone that is not speaking should mute yourself, because if your microphone is on, the background noise will interfere. So please mute yourself. And at the end of the presentation and the questions that will be asked by Ambassador Christabel, you are free to indicate, by raising up your hand. There's a signal, an icon there that you can use to raise your hands, and we will unmute you to ask your questions. Every other question you can send to the chat room, and possibly we will try to attend to as many questions as we can before our time is up. So please, that is the general housekeeping rule. Hold on, please. I'm still getting another message. Okay. All right. So let me just put on my camera. All right. Thank you very much, Technical, for drawing my attention to that. So the first on our panel that will be doing justice to the theme is going to be Mr. Hamad Yakubu Wanka, He is a seasoned international maritime lawyer, public-private partnership specialist, and an expert in maritime safety law, with over 30 years in port administration and management. Mr. Wanka has held diverse strategic roles across the Nigerian Port Authority, including port legal advisor, special assistant to the managing director, acting port manager, and pioneer general manager of regulatory services. His rich legal and operational experience spans major seaports and national policy engagements, making him exceptionally suited to contribute to today's discourse. Please welcome Mr. Wanka.
Thank you very much.
I will introduce
Thank
everybody
you.
before I now allow you to do your presentation.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. All right. So the second panelist is Deacon Okezi Odugula. Deacon Okezi Odugula is Deputy Director and External Partnership Liaison at the Center for Sustainable Development, Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Efrun, Delta State, Nigeria. He's a renowned environmentalist. He's also the founder of EISED and Lumumba Grandson Ventures, both active in environmental consultancy and advocacy. He has led pioneering climate projects in the Niger Delta, including the Isoko Afforestation Project and the ongoing Isoko Eco Green Initiative. He facilitated Isoko South local government areas historic entry into ICLEI for sustainability and co-founded the Niger Delta Environmental Surveillance Agency with the United Nations Environmental Project. Deacon Odugula serves on several civic platforms and is currently pursuing postgraduate studies at the University of Cambridge. He's an ordained deacon, author, and public commentator on environmental governance. You're welcome, Deacon Odugula.
Yeah, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you to Cossccima for this great initiative. Thanks to everyone.
You're welcome. Yes. You're welcome, sir. So next on our panelists list is Mr. Nelson Uwaifo Obude. Mr. Nelson Uwaifo Obude is the General Manager of ECM Terminal Limited, Calabar Freeport, a member of the Ecomarine Group. Mr. Obude is a highly seasoned professional in the maritime industry with over 30 years of experience. Prior to his current role, he served as the Group General Manager, Marine and Operations at Britannia U Nigeria Limited, an oil and gas exploration company. He also held significant positions within the Nigeria Port Authority, including port manager for Delta Ports Warri, Delta State, Nigeria, and Calabar Ports, Cross River, Nigeria, and was the pioneer traffic manager at Dangote Jetty, Lekki. Mr. Obude's extensive educational background includes an MSc in Operations Supply Chain Management from the University of Liverpool, United Kingdom, and an MSc in Transport Studies from Ogun State University. He also has attained certificates in various maritime-related programs from institutions like the World Maritime University and Kansas State University. He's currently pursuing a PhD in transportation, and he's a chartered member of the Institute of Logistics and Transport and Nigerian Institute of Management. With his vast experience and strong leadership, analytical and communication skills, Mr. Obude is passionate about his work and dedicated to achieving organizational goals and objectives. He also happens to be the chairman of the Cossccima Blue Economy Trade Group, CBETG. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Thank you.
All right. The next panelist is Madam Blessing Ngozi Osakwe Ogo. She's sitting in very adequately on behalf of the zonal director of the Nigerian Shippers Council for the South-South zone. That's Dr. Ifi Okodue, who unavoidably is not with us because she has other professional engagements that she has to attend to, official engagements that she has to attend to, but she's ably represented by Madam Blessing Ngozi Osakwe Ogo, who is the port officer for the Delta State zone. She's a distinguished chartered accountant and a chartered forensic examiner with over 3 decades of experience in both public and private sectors. She currently serves as Deputy Director at the Nigerian Shippers Council, overseeing multi-billion naira PPP projects, managing the Cargo Defense Fund and driving internal control reforms. Madam Osakwe Ogo holds advanced degrees in project management and marketing, and she is completing a PhD in project management, an accomplished mentor and finance expert. Her work has been instrumental in strengthening accountability frameworks within maritime logistics and national infrastructure. She's also the national first vice chairperson of the Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria. You are welcome, Madam Osakwe Ogo.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good morning.
All right. So the next on our list, definitely a very distinguished personality himself. We're glad to have him on board. He's no other than Engineer Chief Chris Shukura. He is the president of the Chukwuemeka Shukura Green Energy Foundation, a veteran environmental advocate. He champions climate change mitigation, renewable energy, and sustainability through grassroots action and thought leadership. His initiatives include the Journal of Total Quality Environment and a Green Energy, and a pioneering anthology of climate change poems featuring young Nigerian voices. A former director at Michael Okpara University of Agriculture and special advisor on projects. He has led landmark environmental programs from mass tree planting across Delta State to establishing a Center for Project Development, honored as the 2024 State Environmentalist of the Year. Engineer Shukura continues to inspire public and institutional engagement on sustainable development. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here too. And let's reap the low-hanging fruits of the blue economy. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies, or lady of the panel. We're going to begin very shortly, and we expect that the slides are ready. The first person we'll be hearing from this morning is Mr. Hamad Yakubu Wanka of the Nigerian Ports Authority. So if you're ready for us, we are ready to listen. The public is ready to listen. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon from wherever you're listening or joining us from. You are welcome. Our president will join us shortly and speak and to welcome every participant in due time. Thank you very much. So Mr. Wanka, the floor is yours. Please go ahead and make your presentation considering our time that has already been elapsing. Thank you very much. Mr. Wanka, are you with us?
Network issues. Network is terribly bad.
Okay. That's understandable.
It's raining in Lagos, so that could just be responsible for the.
If you can hear us, we want to let him know that he should not worry. We will still give him an opportunity to make his presentation after we allow Deacon Okezi Odugola, who is the second person introduced here, so that
I can hear you very well. I can hear you very well.
Okay. Okay. Please go
Are
ahead.
you not hearing me?
We can hear you now. We're
I
in
hear
hearing
you
you.
now.
Can hear
Please
you.
go ahead and make your presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Distinguished
morning.
panelists, attendees, ladies and gentlemen. My names are Ahmad Yakubu Wanka. I'm the
Yes.
General Manager, Regulatory Services, Nigerian Ports Authority. It's my pleasure to be with you today and speak on this crucial webinar on unlocking the blue economy for South-South development, strategies for 2025. As we all know, NPA plays a pivotal role in enabling the blue economy, particularly in the eastern ports, through robust oversight and strategic public-private partnerships. Our mission is to foster an environment where port operations are not only efficient, but also sustainable, aligning with national goals and the UN SDGs. In the following presentation, I'll share the perspective of NPA on how our regulatory functions and innovative PPP models are driving port modernization and addressing environmental and developmental challenges across the South-South. I look forward to a collaborative discussion on how we can collectively unlock the full potential of our maritime assets. Thank you. The title of my paper is MPA, Catalyzing the Blue Economy in Nigeria Eastern Ports in a regulatory perspective, enabling sustainable growth in the South-South. We define the Eastern ports as all the ports in the Nigerian South-South geopolitical zone, otherwise known as the Niger Delta. These ports are One, which includes the Federal Lighter Terminal and the Federal Ocean Terminal.
Maritime coastal economy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Delta Ports is comprised of Warri, Koko, Sapele, and Ogara. And then
the South-South regions. Developments.
Please,
is somebody talking again?
Yeah, somebody's voice is interrupting. Please mute yourself. Yeah. Our technical, please mute everyone except for the speaker. Thank you.
Yes,
go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Delta Ports is comprised of Warri, Koko, Sapele, and Ogara. Rivers Port, the old Port Harcourt Port, and Calabar Port, as we know. The mandate of NPA is to exercise crucial regulatory functions for efficient, safe, and sustainable port operations. The focus of the webinar is to discuss NPA's role in unlocking the blue economy and shaping developmental strategies for 2025. This is just an aerial view of the eastern ports. The other one, the same thing. This is a finger jetty for oil and gas related operations, just for the information of participants. Regulatory framework, anchoring sustainable port growth. The legal enablement for the regulatory powers of NPA is drawn basically from two sources. One, the Nigerian Ports Authority Act that was first passed in 1954 and has been amended, revised several times. The one in force now was last revised in 2007. And the concession agreement that we've had with the terminal operators nationwide. And the purpose of regulation for our purpose here is to ensure compliance, operational efficiency, and environmental stewardship and responsibility across all the ports. This underpins SDG 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, by providing a stable and predictable environment for port development. Adaptive regulations, prioritizing environmental and community well-being. Specific applications. Regulations are adapted to operational peculiarities across different ports and terminals. There is no, all regulations are fit for purpose. There is no metal jacket for regulations as operations differ, cargo types differ, and the cargo handling methods differ. Therefore, regulations is made based on the peculiarities of each location. We mitigate environmental impact by adhering to very strict measures with a view to reducing harmful environmental impacts on port aborting or port or on port aborting communities. We ensure that before any project commences, there must be an ESIA, environmental and social impact assessment, that must be comprehensive and undertaken. It must be approved by the Federal Ministry of Environment and is a sustainability guide which ensures compliance with environmental regulations in the case of dredging, waste management, and emissions. This directly contributes to SDG 14, life below water, by addressing marine pollution. SDG 13, climate action through emission control. And SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, by protecting aborting communities. PPPs. Now, PPPs, the engine of port modernization and blue economy infrastructure. Now, PPP is an acronym for public-private partnership. We have started this in 1996 in the Federal Ocean Terminal on A. But then, as a general policy, it was adopted in 2003 through the landlord model, a key PPP variants. And the key characteristics of the landlord model are: one, public ownership of ports and portlands; 2, separation of operations from ownership and regulations. 3, autonomy of ports. 4, transfer of port operations to private terminal operators. This applied generally since 2006, as I said. And the legal enablers are sections 8L, 8Y, 9, and 25(2) of the Ports Act. If we remember, as at 2002, when the port reform started, there was no specific legal framework for concession. What we did was to look at the laws and see the sections that have given it a legal backing. Then ICRC Act was passed in 2005, but it came into effect in 2007. It provided clarity, defined roles, obligations, and PPP types, and the processes that have to be followed in PPPs. This is fundamental to SDG 9, industry in innovation and infrastructure, and SDG 17, partnership for the goals, as it facilitates investment and expertise in critical infrastructure. This is the landlord model in perspective for ease of understanding. Yes, PPP models in practice, fueling growth. There is no hard and fast rule on which model needs to be adopted. The most important thing is for the parties to understand the kind of relationship they are going into and pick the one that is best fits the relationship. In this case, we have diverse approaches and models. The first one is the brownfield. The brownfield is a situation where the grantor, in this case MPA, has an existing facility that it gives out to the private sector to upgrade, operate, and transfer. And this was what we did from 2005 to 2007 for 26 terminals. Then the greenfield. The greenfield is where the private sector entity obtain licenses from us to develop entirely new ports. And the reason is that in our laws, there is no, and there has never been a provision for private ownership of ports. When anybody wants to develop the port, they come to us and we give them licenses based on agreed parameters. And the model that we normally apply in this is design, finance, build, own, operate, and transfer. And there's the hybrid model. So far in our history, there has always only been one hybrid model in Tinkan, and that is the the Grimaldi terminal. The hybrid model is one that hello? Yes. The hybrid model is the one that MPA has the facility, it gives out, but then the private the private sector partner makes other developments within it. So and the model we adopt is design, build, finance, operate, and transfer. It is only the Grimaldi terminal in Tinkan that is a hybrid in our case. So these models allow MPA to leverage private sector expertise, financing, and innovation for efficient and sustainable project delivery. This demonstrates concrete strategies for SDG 9, industry, innovation, and by diversifying investment in port assets, unlocking potentials, deep sea PPPs in the South-South, strategic importance. As I said earlier on, ports are on the exclusive legislative list, which made it a must for anybody that seeks to develop a port to collaborate with the federal government. In the case of the South-South, there are examples of these projects that were commenced by state governments. Like one, the Bakassi Deep Sea Port in Cross River State. It was initiated by the state government in 2015. And the presidency directed that there must be strict adherence to all rules and then the IBOM.
Please mute yourself. Whoever is talking, mute yourself.
President is on board now, please.
Okay, welcome, President. Honorable.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. We will get to you, sir. There's a hesitation on ground now.
Yes. Now, the IBOM Deep Sea Port.
Please
yes.
proceed so that we can.
Yeah. The IBOM Deep Sea Port was initiated by the Akwa Ibom state government in 2011. FEC approved it after going through all the processes. It was approved in 2021. But since 2021, no progress from the state government, no communication. Strategies for 2025 highlighting the need for sustained political will and consistent adherence to regulatory frameworks. Yes. Then the Benin port, it was initiated by the Edo State government is in 2011 as the Gelegele port. And its aim is to develop a colonial port on the Benin River. All the relevant agencies were involved, and the process had reached the point where a where a preferred bidder has emerged. But since the change of government in 2023, there was nothing that was heard from the state government again. I get deep sea port in Bayelsa State. This was initiated again by the state government in 2015. And since that time, it has been dormant until February this year, when the state government invited us for a meeting. We went. In fact, we were the ones that informed the governor that this matter started in 2015. So for 10 years, nobody had anything. And the state government is still being awaited to take a decision on the next step. Strategies for 2025 emphasizing continuity of engagement, robust record keeping, and overcoming political transitions. This is just a conceptual drawing of a deep sea port, just a concept. Conclusion: MPS regulatory leadership, we are committed to exercising effective regulatory oversight and leveraging on PPPs to foster a thriving and sustainable blue economy in the South. Driving strategies, our focus remain on creating an enabling environment for robust port infrastructure development, environmental protection, and community engagement. And how to do this is to attract vital private investment. Collaborative future. We invite continued collaboration with all stakeholders, state government, private investors, and communities, with a view to realizing the immense potential of the eastern ports for regional and national development. Connecting the SDGs to reiterate our overall commitment to the SDGs, particularly 8, 9, 13, 14, and 17. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. Thank you for listening. That is the end of the presentation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Wanka, for that very, very insightful presentation you've made.
Thank you.
This is just to let our participants know that because I've been going through some of the chats on the chat room, and people are requesting for these presentations to be shared. We will share the presentations only to those who we consider or who we perceive are full-time, interested, active participants in this webinar, so that you can also develop yourself and also get in touch with us to partner with us in some form or the other. So we will send to very interested, committed blue economists that are on this platform. Thank you very much. So having said that, we want to acknowledge the presence of our president and also our national vice president on NACIMA level, Honorable Idutumi Komonibo. He has now finally been able to join us. So, sir, we welcome you to the platform. We give you the opportunity now to give your speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Let me apologize first of all for getting this done quite late. I've been battling with it, but to save time, let me go straight to my address. Even though it's a bit late, please accept my apologies. It's a welcome address by the president.
Apologies accepted.
Blue Economy and Ministry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a welcome address by the president of the Coalition of South-South Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture. My name is Honorable Indutimi Timothy Komonibo. I'm from Bayelsa State. This address is at the Blue Economy webinar, dated today, 26th day of June 2025. Distinguished panelists, esteemed participants, and stakeholders across the maritime, academic, public, and private sectors. On behalf of the Coalition of South-South Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, Cossccima, I warmly welcome you to this timely and strategic webinar themed Unlocking the Blue Economy for South-South Development, Strategies for 2025. We are gathered here not just for another virtual engagement, but to collectively reimagine the future of the South-South region through the lens of the Blue Economy, a future anchored on sustainability, innovation, and shared prosperity. Today's discourse aligns squarely with the pillars of the National Marine and Blue Economy Policy 2024 to 2034. And our goal is clear: to articulate actionable strategies that can catalyze maritime-driven growth and deepen private sector participation. From the rehabilitation of critical port infrastructure to revitalization of marine value chains, and from enhancing our institutional frameworks to equipping our human capital, today's deliberations will shape how our region positions itself as a frontline contributor to Nigeria's blue economy transition. We are particularly proud of the caliber of speakers and institutions represented here. Your insights will help us strengthen policy alignment, unlock partnerships, and build a collaborative roadmap that Cossccima and its members can champion across all 6 South-South states. Let this webinar serve not only as a think tank, but as a springboard for implementation. We expect to come out of today's session with a shared understanding of next steps, be it in advocacy, investments, or pilot projects. Thank you for your commitment. Let the conversations begin. God bless the South-South. God bless Nigeria. Honorable Idutumi Timothy Komonibo. Even though it has started, let it start officially. God bless you all.
President, sir, before we let you step out of the spotlight, we need to see your face. Can you share your put on your camera so that the public can see who has been talking?
Yes.
Your camera is switched off. So
my camera is not switched off.
Okay.
You can't see me.
No, we're not seeing you, President. Maybe
we're not seeing you, sir.
Yes,
better.
now we're seeing you.
You are seeing me now?
Yes, we can see you, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's a very handsome man, very handsome president.
We are looking forward to your hat. You didn't wear your hat today.
Okay.
I agree with you, sir.
It's a serious business. That's why I didn't wear my hat today.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
All right.
Once again, I'm very sorry for coming late.
No problem, sir. So without further ado, I know that the next on the during the presentation, I know that during the introductions, we had mentioned the FUPRI representative, but for sake of exigency, we would like to ask the ECM General Manager, our chairman of the Blue Economy Trade Group, Mr. Nelson Ovude, to give his presentation right now. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay,
Before you go
thank
ahead, we want to also acknowledge all the comments made on the chat room. You are going to, all your requests are being considered, and we encourage the conversation. And thank you very much. Go ahead, Mr. Ovude.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity once again. Distinguished panelists, esteemed attendees, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nelson Ovude. I'm the General Manager, ECM Terminal. I feel greatly honored to be given this opportunity to do a presentation on this maiden edition of our webinar program. I'm actually playing double role here as the chairman of the Blue Economy Trade Group, the organizer of this program, and a panelist. So it's a double cap I'm putting on right now. For those of you who may not know much about the ECM terminal, we are terminal operators in Calabar Port. You will recall in 2006, the federal government concessioned all the port all over the country, and we were privileged to be the ones that won the bid for one of the part of Calabar Port. We are a multi-purpose terminal. We handle liquid, dry bulk, and general cargo and container. And we all know how strategic Calabar Port is, given its proximity to the northeast, north central, and with various business opportunities. I will be talking on the topic, catalyzing a sustainable blue economy in the South-South. In the slide, I will be talking about integrating sustainability in our operation through major initiative we have taken as terminal operator in the South-South. In the first slide, it is all about empowering the South-South blue economy through sustainable port operation. And in doing that, our major commitment is to align with Nigeria's National Blue Economy Policy 2024 to 2034 to foster economic prosperity, environmental stewardship. We are not limiting ourselves to just terminal operations, but ECM plays the roles in building a resilient and sustainable port infrastructure, crucial for regional development. We have invested so much in equipment to ensure sustainable development goal that we're looking at. Highlighting, please, can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, no, before the one before this. Okay. Highlighting contribution to the sustainable development goal, we are actually working in tandem with the SDG 8 and SDG 9. SDG 8, known as Decent Work and Economic Growth, and SDG 9, known as Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure. This is one of our major key focal points in operation as terminal operators. Please, the next slide. You can see that's one of our rich data that we use in our operations. Move to the next slide, please. Okay, this is what we're actually looking out for. No, you are rushing. Okay, what you are seeing here is a gantry crane. We don't have this in our terminal, but that is what we hope to have in future. Let's move forward to the next slide. Some of the action that we have put in place is driving sustainability and community impact through community and environment focus, community shorelines cleanup, collaboration effort with MPA, local fishing operative, and NGOs to reduce plastic waste and raise awareness about marine pollution. MPA have a vendor that is in charge of that aspect of the cleanup, I think African Circle, that's the major thing that they do, to ensure that the environment is well cleaned and there is a sustainable community cleanup, to ensure that they are in tandem with the SDG. To connect the SDG 14, which is also known as Life Below Water, we equally have MPA playing a major role in that, though what we do basically is just to interface with them in ensuring that all these concepts are looked into and the communities are involved in carrying out that responsibility. Like mangrove restoration, pilot eco partnership,
Yes.
Environmental Research Institute for mangrove restoration near the Calabar Port Channel, a vital step for ecosystem health and coastal protection. We are also in collaboration with MPA in ensuring the achievement of this. Like to connect the SDG 14, which is known as Life Below Water, and SDG Life on Land, all these are embedded in what we do as terminal operators, just to ensure the sustainability of it. As for the human capital development, we have carried out series of work as part of our corporate social responsibility, in training the youths, apprentices in logistics and marine safety, building essential human capital in the blue economy. These are some of the attributes we have in ECMT to ensure that we engage the youth, in human capital development. To connect SDG 4, which is quality education, and all, like I've said earlier on, we have taken our time to train a lot of community, a lot of youth in the community to make sure that they are busy, they are engaged meaningfully to contribute to the community that we are operating in. Because it can be so dangerous when you operate in a community and you are not extending hands of fellowship to the community that you are working in. It can affect the business negatively.
Very dangerous. Check this more or less question.
Somebody speaking at the background.
Please, technical, please, you mute everybody that is not talking apart from the chairman who is making his presentation. Thank you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, chairman. Chairman, go ahead.
His mic is muted.
Please unmute the chairman. Unmute Mr. Nelson.
No, I've just unmute myself now. I think he mistakenly muted me. Like for the community support, renovation of health center is one of the basic things that we did in the community that we are working with. Provision of community hall and a job opportunity, like I've said earlier on, for the indigenes. Then construction and renovation of schools, facility, sponsorship of vocational skill training. These are some of the things that we have done just to carry along the community. And they all fall within the purview of our responsibility to the community that we are interfacing with. And this is in line with the SDG 3, which talks about good health, well-being, and SDG 4, we talk about quality education. All these are embedded in the profile in what ECM has been doing to ensure that they are working in tandem with the community that they are operating in. The green port practices, operational ecosystem, enhanced vessel scheduling to reduce idle emissions, operational support for e-documentation to minimize paper usage and energy conservation protocol for port equipment. We interface with most of our stakeholders that we are dealing with to ensure that we achieve this goal. We get across to ship owner whenever they are bringing in their vessel and all that, and we ensure that all these areas are closed out to ensure that we are working in tandem with the Sustainable Development 12, which is responsible for the consumption and production, and SDG 13 climate action. As for explorational eco-efficiency, we have a business strategy that we have put in place in driving most of this through collaborative effort with other stakeholders. Just of recent, we have collaborated with WAT, with APMT and Claron Shipping in our new drive to ensure that we have container traffic coming into our terminal, because before now, basically what we've been doing has been dry bulk, liquid bulk, and general cargoes, which usually are project cargo meant for other states. But now we have felt the need to bring in containerized cargo, and we have been in discussion. So much has been done as per sharing of SLA in that regard, and I believe in next month, thereabout, we are going to commence operation, and this one will be through the usage of barges and feeder vessel, given the draft limitation that we are facing in Calabar Port. Next slide, please. Let's try it. Sustainability integration and procedural participatory and overcoming hurdles. Our dual approach to integration through procedural digitization of key operation and collaboration with equipment manufacturers to transition to cleaner cargo handling machinery is one key area that we have been looking into in our operation, and we have been able to record some success in regard to that. And participatorily engaging local stakeholders to ensure port development. All are embedded in community priorities and environmental safeguards. All this we have added to our strategy as terminal operator to ensure that we are working in tandem with people that can add value to what we do in the terminal. In all this, we have major challenges faced by private terminal operators. It's not just limited to ECM terminal. When you go to other terminal outside, Calabar Port, I believe they equally have the same story to tell. Policy and financing gaps. The significant lack of tailored policy, incentive, and sustainability linking financing opportunity hinders long-term green infrastructure investment. This is a critical barrier to unlocking blue economy at scale. Limited channel draft. This has been an issue that has been on for ages, and it has gone to limit the type of vessel that we normally have in our terminal. The major challenge in Calabar is the limited draft in the channels, restricting the size and capacity of vessels that call at the port. This directly impacts our efficiency and growth within the blue economy. But the good news is, just last week, I remember the port manager telling me that the Calabar Channel management has been mobilized to carry out a bathymetric survey of our channel. And we all know after that is done, the next step will be the dredging of the channel. So we are very hopeful because we know how much this has impacted negatively. This challenge of limitation of draft, it has impacted negatively in our terminal, and we are hopeful that once the dredging is done, we will be able to reach out to most liners and all that are willing to do business on our axis, So we just keep hoping. The stakeholder coordination. Challenging in coordinating various stakeholders, including government bodies, customers, and local community, to ensure buy-in and support for sustainability initiative is one Herculean task that, we have been facing, because it requires a lot of resources to be able to bring them together, to interface with them and all. But good thing, despite how difficult it has been, we've been able to achieve, some milestone in that regard. High capital investment. Significant capital investment required for sustainable technologies, e.g. reducing energy consumption, emission, and waste. Public awareness and support. The need for state government support in promoting Calabar Port, as some officials believe is moribund due to lack of visibility and ongoing activities. It might surprise you, the attendees, to know that in some forum that we have just a couple of months ago, one of the government officials made a very profound statement that was kind of negative to what we know we are doing. He presented Calabar Port as a moribund port. Meanwhile, this is a port where you have a terminal operating and paying tax to the state government. He never deemed it fit to come around to find out if something was happening there or not, but he just come up with that kind of statement. We believe that the government will need to buy into what we are doing, act as a pressure group, so that some of the challenges that we are having in there can be addressed. And if they are able to do this, honestly, a lot will change, because we can imagine the multiplier effect it will have on the economy of the state. The fishing community infiltration into, the channel is another major challenges that we've been facing. They have failed to realize that there is usually a boundary between where they carry out their fishing activity and the channel meant for vessels coming into the terminal. Some can just be deliberate in their action. They would like to fish along the channel, and when you mistakenly, go across their net, the next thing they do is to come to the terminal operator and be demanding for, money to assuage them from all the incident that has happened. But honestly, the port management has been working in that direction to ensure that a public awareness is carried out for them to know their area of limitation in their operations. Our strategic roadmap, however, towards a resilient and prosperous blue economic strategic imperative for 2025 and beyond are as follows. Integrating sustainability, deeply embedded in sustainability principle into all aspects of modernization and expansion. Strengthening partnership, fostering robust academic industrial collaboration to drive innovation and research in blue economy solution. This we have started doing with some stakeholders. You heard when I talked about the collaboration we are having presently with WAT and APMT and Clarion Shipping Line. These are just part of it. We all equally have other customers that have been interfacing with us that are even planning to come up with fishing activity in our terminal. There are two, really, but for the purpose of being strategic, I wouldn't want to mention their name here, because it's something that we are keeping to our heart for now. Leveraging on PPP models, actively exploring public-private partnership models like the lease, develop, operate system currently in place with MPA to enhance blue logistic infrastructure, attract private sector expertise, financing, and innovation. This is crucial for unlocking the full potential of the blue economy. Expanding blue logistic. Engaging in active discussion with organizations for fishery business, signaling diversification and enhancing performance in blue logistics and service delivery. All these are major things that we are working on now with the hope that the message can be passed conveniently to the people that should have it as their guide in doing business with us. advocacy for policy change, collaborating through the chambers of commerce and platforms like this webinar to co-create viable pathways and advocate for tailored policy, incentive, and sustainability linked financing has been the best deal that we've ever had. And the reason we don't toy with, the chambers of commerce, because when we are with them, we get a lot of innovative ideas from them, and we have opportunity to equally interface and interact with other other stakeholders, and that has really helped our business. Strategic imperative, continuation of it. Our commitment is towards progressive, practical, and purposeful in our journey towards sustainable blue economy in the South-South. And this I can say because I'm really involved. Like you heard me say initially, I'm playing a dual role here, wearing two caps, being a terminal operator and being a full member of Cossccima. So connecting all the SDGs, emphasizing SDG 17, which means the partnership for the goals, and SDG 13, the climate action, are core to future strategies. And this one we are actually looking up to, and we have it embedded in our strategy as terminal operators. I believe with this little presentation, I've been able to open a window for us to have a conversation after this time. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Nelson
Thank you,
Obude, for
sir.
such an
Thank you,
insightful.
Chairman, for the wonderful.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation you made. And some of your key points you made are very encouraging. That your operations are, the SDG goals are embedded in your organization's operations. That is very encouraging. That makes you, your company, a very active, sustainable development stakeholder. So we encourage that, and like the president, one of the things the president has encouraged us to do is to make sure that everyone who has proven themselves in their operations and who has even participated in this thing is given not just a certificate of participation, but also a Blue Economy Ambassador certificate, which will be sent to the emails that are being shared with us, even on the chat room. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So yeah. So I can safely say that we have heard from two blue economists, Mr. Wanka and Mr. Ovude. Now, next we will be hearing from Deacon Okezi Odugula. Deacon Odugula, please, you have the floor. Make your presentation. If there are slides not available, we can.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Deacon. Welcome.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me clearly?
We can hear you, Deacon.
Yes, we
can hear you, sir.
I'd like to appreciate everyone in the house this morning. And first and foremost, I want to thank the Almighty God for making today possible for us to have this webinar. Much thanks to Cossccima for bringing this on board. It is needful and timely, and for finding us with all humility to be here as panelists, mostly myself. It has been great learning for me. My name is Deacon Okezi Odugala. I'm the Deputy Director, the FUPRE, Federal University of Petroleum Resources Center for Sustainable Development in a full Delta State. I'm not an academia, but the Center for Sustainable Development has a mixture of civil society, the private sector, and government. And that is implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 17, which talk about partnership. I think we are the only Center for Sustainable Development that has that ingredients. Briefly, I just I don't have my presentation ready, but I will make it available. I'm on transit and very strong.
No problem. We can receive your presentation subsequently. Wish you speedy recovery.
Yes,
Go ahead, sir.
I tagged this presentation partnership critical for unlocking the blue economy for SASA development, strategies for 2025 and beyond, the FUPRE Center for Sustainable Development approach. A brief introduction of the FUPRE Center for Sustainable Development. We were established on the 9th of September, year 2021, when we had, after a series of meetings with the university authority, and an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, was signed. And the center was unveiled on the 22nd of April, 2022. The main objective of the center is to implement the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the African Agenda for Sustainable Development, which is Agenda 2063, through innovative research and capacity building programs. Immediately we came on board, we started with the first roundtable on sustainable development, where we called on critical stakeholders for us to meet and begin to interrogate the issues of sustainability, not just in the South region, but in country. Just April 22nd, 2025, we had a fourth roundtable that has been in a yearly series. And this one looked at crude oil theft and vandalization of oil pipelines, and illegal mining. Now, I'd like to say this, that the blue economy and petroleum economy are natural endowment that we are happy to have in the region. And they have been there for us, and that's to say that this region is so endowed. And I must give kudos to this present administration of President Tinubu that started establish a full Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. That's to say that it is good for us to have a coordination in harnessing the abundant resources of the marine and blue economy. And thank God, the national policy on marine and blue economy, a 10-year strategic document, has been unveiled. What have we done, again, as a FUPRE? We believe that the Center for Sustainable Development is taking the university to the community and bringing the community to the university. And also the conversation around fossil fuel economy, that there have been a lot of school of thought of the contribution to climate change and the need for embracement of a renewable energy economy. And you know that our country depends heavily on petroleum resources and the attendant environmental pollution issues, which have led to agitations over the years and militancy. And so even the creation of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources was an aftermath of agitation in year 2017 through the Act of Parliament. And the conversation of we looking at beyond oil, crude oil, and the conversation around despoliation, environmental despoliation of the livelihood of the people of the region, because our main occupation is farming and fishing. So we'd like to say that it is very important that where even the petroleum economy is going pari passu renewable energy economy, the blue economy, we must take it very serious and come out with strategies that will not make us experience what happened in the petroleum economy. Well, for us, we want to make some suggestions going forward. We believe that the national policy on marine and blue economy, there should be a deliberate effort to make it, to domesticate it to the language that our people understand and take it to the grassroots. So that our people can become owners of this new evolving economy. The elite capture that we experience in the petroleum economy is not what we wish for. So I want to thank Cossccima again for this webinar, because this is in the right direction. We must take it to our people and make our people own it, and make our people to preserve and make our people to sustain it. Again, I like to suggest that there are a lot of agencies in departments in the marine and blue economy doing the same thing. And there is a need for fusion, where a one-stop bus stop, where all the issues revolving around this blue economy should be handled. We have the Nigerian Port Authority, and I'm happy that as a panelist has just spoken from that perspective. We have the Shippers Council, we have the Fishery Department, we have the Institute for Oceanography, and a lot of other institutions which are into different ministries and departments doing the same thing. And this is duplication of activity. We believe that there should be a coordination that will help to speed up implementation of policies within the blue economy ecosystem. And this will also help again to save a lot of resources and also speed up intervention within that ecosystem. The strategy for security is something that we must take very critical. We must interrogate critically. You know that the militancy and restiveness and the agitations within the petroleum economy led to people going the way of self-help, and that has led to oil bunkering. And these have devastated even the blue economy. Before the intervention of government, trying to use internal security to safeguard the marine ecosystem. And I think these have really worked to some level, because we were aware that it got to a point that even the petroleum resources were dwindling until this intervention came. We believe that having this same strategy of bringing the professionals and the people within the region to take the security architecture will help in sustainability of the marine and blue economy. We know of what Tantita has been doing and other private security firms within the region. So this conversation must be deepened so that we don't have what is happening in the Chad region and the Suez Canal happening in our region. I'd like to say that there's a need for robust engagement with the BRICS Commission. That the BRICS Commission is the assembly of all the states in the region. That seems to be very docile. The interests have been too political, without giving much consideration to the sustainability of resources in the region, mostly the blue economy. There's a need for Cossccima drive a process with other stakeholders to engage leadership of states in the region to really take over the implementation of the national policy on marine and blue economy within the region. It is not just the interest for revenue acquisition, but working to see that we do the right thing in the ecosystem of the marine and blue economy to create and to harness the numerous resources that we have in the blue economy. Resources like tourism, biotechnology, food security, and even coastal sustainability, because there have been a lot of erosion, coastal erosion, almost wiping communities away. Issues of cleanup, issues of environmental sustainability. The BRICS Commission must wake up. They have been in slumber, and I want to use this opportunity that there should be a very robust engagement in a diplomatic way to bring them to take ownership, working with communities and other stakeholders to make the blue economy robust and creating happiness for our people. Because the essence of any strategy, both governance and both what we're doing today, is to ensure that our people live better life. You must say in the region there has been so much of poverty in the midst of plenty. And we're also recipient to climate change issues because of our geographical position. So at the Footprint Center for Sustainable Development, we are doing research on adaptation and mitigation of climate change issues. And I like to say that we have participated in the Conference of Parties on Climate Change 28 in Dubai with Nurses Across the Borders International. We made a presentation in Dubai, and also COP29 in Azerbaijan. Just of recent, we participated visually in the United Nations Conference on Ocean in France, where we made contributions looking at issues of climate change and the health of the people of the region. And you know that a lot of our waterways have been polluted, and these have really caused a lot of health issues. So we're not looking at just the environmental sustainability issues, but looking at health, which is goal 3 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I'd like to also mention here that we are carrying out advocacy in schools, mostly in our host communities, which is the Efrun Wari Axis, going to schools to teach the young ones the need for them to practice good waste management. There have been a lot of plastic waste mismanagement, and this is having a lot of negative impact in our ocean water resources, because when it rains, the whole waste goes into the ocean, and it is really causing a lot of devastation. So that we can harvest this waste and do a process of recycling, because every waste is wet. And also we have started a research work that is being led by the director of the center, Dr. Emeka Elemike, who is specializing in nanotechnology in harvesting water hyacinth, and to use it to make fertilizers. So I like to end by saying that Food Press Center for Sustainable Development is jet to leaving no one behind. We want to invite everyone to join us in partnership so that we can continue to engage in our vision of research, innovative research, and capacity building. We also want to look at coming out with some short certificated trainings in the blue economy ecosystem, so that our people who have the traditional knowledge, also we can harvest them and also ensure that we use it in a sustainable way to make life better for our people. Finally, I once again want to thank all the panelists and participants for this opportunity to share thoughts, and also much appreciation to Cossccima for starting this innovative engagement, which is really cardinal. Thank you and God bless.
Yes, thank you so much, Deacon. That was, in fact, that was a beautiful presentation. And your point when you raised about engaging, partnering with customers to engage the Breast Commission is very, they are very salient, and please be assured that they are noted. And we are also commending the fact that FUPRI is going even to the grassroots to get school children engaged in the concept of blue economy or sustainable development. We are very, very excited about what you said, and we will reach out to you shortly because we see in you a blue economist. Thank you very much. So, without further delay, at this time, we want to ask the representative of the Nigerian Shippers Council to make her presentation at this time. Madam Blessing Osakwe Ogo, are you set to make your presentation? Madam Blessing Osakwe Ogo, are you with us? Nigerian Shippers Council. Okay, pending when she's able to join us.
You hear me now?
Is she there? I can hear you now.
I was unmuted.
Okay, sorry about that. I can hear you now. So
you can hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Mrs. Blessed Ngozi Osakwe Ogo, Deputy Director, Warri Port Office. I'm here to represent my zonal coordinator, Mrs. Ifi Okulu, who is in another assignment. Yeah, preamble. Distinguished guests, organizers, stakeholders in the maritime and coastal economy, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Nigerian Shippers Council, I am honored to be part of this vital conversation around unlocking Nigeria's blue economy, particularly in the context of South-South region's development strategy for 2025. The blue economy strategy opportunity. Nigeria is blessed with over 850 kilometers of coastline, a vast network of inland waterways, and a maritime domain that is rich in biodiversity and economic potential. The blue economy is spanning shipping, fisheries, aquaculture, tourism, port operations, offshore oil and gas, and renewable marine energy, offers Nigeria a transformative path to economic diversification, employment generation, and sustainable development. The South-South region, being coastal and resource-rich, stands at the epicenter of this opportunity. For Nigerian Shippers Council, participation in this topic, unlocking the blue economy for South-South development strategies for 2025, we will be talking on policy gaps and institutional framework for Nigeria's blue economy. Nigerian Shippers Council has implemented several strategic initiatives to support inland logistics and reduce costs for exporters in the South-South zone in the following areas: development of inland dry port and vehicle transit areas. These infrastructures, Nigerian Shippers Council has championed and developed and commissioned IDPs and VTAs in key hinterland locations. A brief explanation of what IDP and VTAs are. An inland dry port, also known as an inland port, is an intermodal terminal located inland, connected to a seaport by road or rail. It functions as a hub for handling, storage, and customs clearance of sea cargo destined for inland locations. It brings the benefits of seaports to the inland, facilitating the efficient movement of goods to and from the hinterland. On the other hand, vehicle transit area, also known as truck transit park, is a designated public rest area located off the road, primarily for truck drivers to take breaks and park. These areas offer various facilities and services to support drivers and vehicles, including fuel, food, restrooms, showers, basic supplies, and vehicle servicing and repair. With the VTA, cargo owners are also sure of the safety of their goods. Accidents along the highways due to incessant parking of truck drivers are reduced to the barest minimum, as well as being a source of revenue generation for the state government, while also providing job opportunities for the indigent, and so on. For the South-South geopolitical zone, the Nigerian Shippers Council has 3 of these projects as various stages. We have 1 inland dry port and 2 vehicle transit areas located at Benin-Sapele Road. That's the IDP is located at along Benin-Sapele Road, while in Aviele and Benin Bypass, we have 2 VTA about to take off. Also in Port, the Nigerian Shippers Council South-South office launched an online registration portal and pushed for VTA and IDP to support local export. These facilities bring export services closer to exporters and by extension, eases congestion in the port, reduces demurrage charges, and also transit delays, thereby cutting costs paid by shippers. Another area that we also help the shippers is in the area of economic regulation and tariff controls. NLC regulates, sorry, let me close my window. I'm in an area where I'm actually out of my house. NLC regulates tariffs and charges across logistics chain by monitoring freight rates and negotiating with service providers to ensure that fees match services rendered. Also, in import pricing index, the council is developing benchmarking tools. This is to increase transparency, compare costs, regionally and without arbitrariness, thereby helping shippers negotiate fairer services. We also carry out regulatory enforcement and dispute resolution. This we do in the area of tariff standard dilation. The NSC has harmonized the nomenclature of charges and tariffs and provides clearer guidelines to prevent arbitrary cost increase. We also have a very, very robust complaint unit in Nigerian Shippers Council. This dispute resolution framework addresses excessive local charges, fees, container deposit non-round, and so on. The NSC dispute resolution mechanism has in no small way saved the shippers significant sum, saved both the shippers and the service providers from litigation, and above all, make partners remain in business after the resolution of their cases. So it has always been a win-win situation for both parties. They come in as enemies, but they go away from Shippers Council as friends. Currency dollarization and automation. To reduce foreign exchange burden and stabilize shipping costs, NSC is working to eliminate the practice of charging services at the port in USA dollars. Then automation and port services. We also spearhead the digital registration and port procedures to minimize delays, paperwork, friction, and related costs detrimental to shippers via faster clearance. What are the impacts of these services to the South-South shippers? What this has done, or what this have done, is to lower transport costs. Rail and inland depot systems significantly reduce per unit cargo transport fees, which we all know. It also leads to faster turnaround. The congested ports and digital systems mean quicker turnaround time, lowering demurrage and inventory holding expenses. Also, in the area of fairer service charges, regulation transparency and active dispute mechanism also prevents arbitrary and excessive fee imposition. These efforts are aggressively lowering export costs, mitigating supply chain bottlenecks, and enabling smoother and more cost-effective export operations from the South region. On policy gaps hindering the blue economy, despite the potentials that we have mentioned earlier, Nigeria's blue economy is hampered by several policy and institutional gaps. These are in the areas of fragmentation of governance. Multiple agencies operate in silos. We have NEMASA, we have NIWA, we have Ministry of Transportation, we have Ministry of Environment, and so on, leading to overlaps and inefficiencies. We are also looking at the lack of unified blue economy policy. Nigeria is here to adopt a comprehensive national policy or strategy dedicated solely to the blue economy, despite drafting one in recent years. To this very policy drafting, I would like to state that sometime in May, we were told that the presidency has signed the policy into law. But for the fact that it has not yet been gazetted, it has not yet been presented to the stakeholders by the appropriate ministry, we have to talk limitlessly to, we have to be mindful of how we address it, because we don't know whether some of the things we're addressing here had already been taken care of by that policy. We also look at poor intermodal connectivity. Ports in the South-South lack efficient links to rail and road network, increasing costs and reducing competitiveness. Weak maritime infrastructure. We have a lot of outdated port facilities, limited dry ports, and poor logistics systems, which stifle trade and investment. Regulatory bottlenecks, lengthy customs procedures, port charges, and inconsistent regulations discourage investors. Insufficient data and research. There's no gainsaying the fact that there's a dearth of reliable data on marine resources, making planning and investment difficult. With these gaps, what do we need to do? So we have the following strategic recommendations to close this policy and institutional gaps. We look at 1, to adopt a national blue economy policy framework. This, we believe, will be spearheaded by the federal government with buy-in from coastal states. Clearly defined rules for federal and state agencies. Establish a central coordinating body which will have a dedicated blue economy commission or council to harness efforts across ministries and agencies. Secondly, there is every need to invest in port and maritime infrastructure. We should prioritize port modernization, dredging of inland waterways, and smart logistics. 3, to enhance legal and regulatory environment. This will involve streamlining customs and port clearance processes, updating maritime laws to reflect marine practices and international standards. Number 4, there is need to strengthen regional integration through encouraging the South-South states to collaborate on joint blue economy projects, such as marine tourism corridors, fisheries, cooperatives, and coastal protection initiatives. Number 5, capacity building and research. This should be done through supporting universities and research centers to explore marine biotechnology, climate resilience, and sustainable aquaculture. Automation of all port procedures, including cargo documentation and customs, moving away from manual interventions to a seamless digital workflow. Strengthening the national single window to integrate all agencies, which will reduce human interface points and speed up clearance and eliminate bureaucratic delays. What are the actions, integrations, and innovations needed? As we look ahead to 2025 and beyond, we must shift from the conversations to implementation. Unlocking the blue economy is not just a matter of potential, but it is a matter of priority. Number 1, action. We need to move swiftly from policy draft to policy execution. Each stakeholder must take deliberate steps to implement maritime infrastructure upgrades, remove regulatory bottlenecks, facilitate investments in shipping, logistics, and marine services. Integration. Success lies in synergy. When we talk about synergy, we are talking about 1 + 1 being 5 and not 2. So our institutions must break down silos, work under a unified blue economic governance structure, promote collaboration between federal, state, and local agencies, especially in the South region, where much of our maritime wealth lies. Let's integrate coastal communities, the private sector, and academia into every stage, from planning to monitoring to increased efficiency and productivity. Innovation. The blue economy demands a new thinking. Therefore, we must embrace smart ports and green logistics, promote digitalization across maritime blue chain, support startups and innovators in areas like marine, biotechnology, ocean energy, and coastal tourism. In conclusion, the South-South region is poised to be Nigeria's blue economy engine. But to realize this, we must bridge the policy gap and re-engineer the institutional architecture that governs our maritime and coastal sectors. Let us move beyond talk into action, integration and innovation towards a prosperous and sustainable maritime future for Nigeria. The Nigerian Shippers Council, under the able leadership of our Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Dr. Barrister Akuta Pius Ukeyim, MON, we are ever ready to be a driver of transformation in this space. Together, through action, integration, and innovation, we can turn Nigeria's maritime potential into a lasting prosperity, particularly for the South-South and the nation at large. Let's not wait for the future, but let's build today. Thank you very much.
I want to just appreciate this presentation. Personally, I think you've done justice to the theme.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was saying that this is a very, very succinct and very relevant presentation. You've done justice to the theme, and surely, just like every other panelist who has presented, Cossccima will be reaching out to your organizations to appreciate your contributions to this very pertinent discussion. We noted that you said something about digital innovations that should that should enhance the ease of doing business. That speaks, to a very critical part of the blue economy. And I also noted that you mentioned overlapping functions and all that of different agencies. That is so on point. It's so on point. And you talked about these interventions as a matter of urgency. I couldn't agree with you more. So thank you so much for those. And finally, you said talk about removing regulatory bottlenecks. Coming from a regulator and saying it, putting it as it is, gives a very, it's very encouraging. It shows that the regulators and the economic regulators know what they are doing, and they are very, very ready to facilitate or fast track endeavors in the blue economy. Thank you so much, Madam Osakwe-Ogo, for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I don't want to say last because it's not the last, and it's definitely not the least. We want to welcome Engineer Chief. Although he's not going to be the last person talking, we still have with us one or two people, leaders in the Cossccima Association that will say one or two things to us in closing before we go to the question and answer that will be taken by Ambassador Christabel. So at this time, we want Engineer Chief Christopher Chukura to please make your presentation. And let's be mindful of the time because we are fast approaching the end of this program. Thank you so much. Go ahead, please, sir.
Thank you very much, Cossccima Management and Leadership, for putting this very important webinar on blue economy, unlocking the potentials in the South-South. My own intervention is twofold. One is on the, hello?
So I was saying that the
hello?
We can hear you, we can hear you.
Okay, my intervention is twofold, two topics here. One is on infrastructure, ports, and private sector opportunities. And the second is Second intervention is on human capital development and environmental sustainability in the South coastal communities in the light of the blue economy. I am Engineer Chief Chris Chukura, the Osowa Owel of Asaba, and the president of Engineer Chief Chukwemeka Chukura Green Energy Foundation. This foundation is actually an NGO which has been
I think you have gone foul. I
registered.
saw one man eat at the right.
Somebody's voice is
Hello. The foundation is aimed at mitigating an adaptation for climate change that is real crisis globally, and therefore we are solving global problems locally in Nigeria and in Delta State in particular, and by extension the South geopolitical region of Nigeria. It looks like they want me to start with human capital development and environmental sustainability in South coastal communities in the light of the blue economy. That's what I posted now. Basically, we want to approach this topic by first noting that the Nigerian food population is over 60% by recent National Bureau of Statistics figures. And this figure, on the average, also applies to South Nigeria coastal communities. And it calls for huge investments for the youth's youthful education, youthful skill acquisition, youthful healthcare, youthful job or wealth creation for a sustainable coastal town, for coastal towns in South Nigeria. And this will also create a community that is resilient to disaster risk, climate change, support common footprint reduction, and promote sustainable livelihood. The second point is that these coastal communities are mostly dependent on marine resources, by which we mean they are mostly fishermen, various types of seafood, including crayfish, bongo fish, etc. Therefore, deliberate attention must be paid to sustainable fishing practices, marine ecosystem conservation, and ecotourism in these communities. Modern novel fishing methods, involving use of closely knit gears stuck with mature fingerlings, are placed in the sea as the way to go, instead of our elders and summertime throwing their nets into the sea for a catch. Put the fingerlings that must have been maybe 1 month or 6 weeks old, and stuck them in the river. And the river flow will bring the feed to them and make sure that the bigger fishes do not come to harass them. So that is the way to go, rather than constructing fish ponds in swampy coastal plains. However, even when this novel method is still evolving, overfishing should be deliberately discouraged, especially illegal fishing using chemicals, gamalin, that is environmentally unfriendly. The third point is that this coastal community, there is need for scholarships for skill acquisition, for higher education to brilliant indigent students in the community. This should be top priority. A proposed recent 3-day course on maritime trade, logistics by Bright Flows Skill Development Vocational Institute Calabar is a good case in point. Similar vocational institutions should be established in the coastal communities by governments and even private sector entrepreneurs. When I mean government, nothing stops MPA from having a vocational center in the coastlines of our South region. Nothing stops even Nigerian Shippers Council from doing so. The fourth point is the Local existing technology for food processing, fish storage, and processing should be modernized and upscaled with focus on environmental sustainability. The current practice of drying fish in most parts of Nigeria, including South coastal community, is using firewood, smoke them in a metal net so that the smoke can dry up the fish. There's no improved packaging, and we are saying now that that should be changed. The packaging, the way of drying, we have ample gas there in the south. We will have some, but there are solar dryers which must be sent to them to modernize their and upscale their practice. I'm talking about now fish drying and crayfish packaging should be modernized for large-scale production and marketing. Marketing beyond the shores, coastline shores, so that this could be brought more inland, so that the price too with supply could come down for easy availability to the end users. The fifth point here is that energy efficiency in the use of wood and fossil fuel should be encouraged, and efficiency, conserve energy conservation should be encouraged, while the use of renewable energy and material should be greatly enhanced in the coastal areas. This is important because we already have the issue of a flame of gas in the refineries, in the various oil wells, which has endangered the ecology of South coastal region. And therefore, if you now use deforestation of the wood to process your fish and the crayfishes and other seafood, you are further polluting the environment. And the sixth point is that institutions such as Nigerian Port Authority, Nigerian Maritime Agency for Safety and Administration, Nigerian Shippers Council, FUPRI, and Maritime University should be encouraged to have extension services and outposts in the coastal communities to showcase better lives and good livelihood practices in the coastal community. It will astonish you that most of the coastal community, the level of poverty that is in Nigeria, it looks like they have their taproot in those areas. And that is what giving rise to frequent agitations in those areas. We don't need to have agitation before what is needed is done. The seventh point is that rural development agencies, Delta State has one. I know it was my committee in 1997, committee that reorganized the Delta Public Utility Board that recommended the formation of Delta Rural Development Agency. Each of these in the 6 states of the South should identify suitable coastal communities by a thorough professional need assessment to be remodeled as an impactful example in ecotourism and blue economy. These agencies should do a thorough need assessment that shows the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for each of the coastal region to coastal town, and see when they could upscale to become models in tourism and blue economy, especially using also renewable energy and making sure that the villages are compliant to the environmental impact assessment. The action plan should start with provision of potable water. The South Ocean coastline is salty, and you find that potable water that conforms to World Health Organization standard is rare, and therefore every attempt should be made in those modern coastal towns to have potable water, off-grid electricity, especially renewable energy, decent e-homes, attractive total quality environment, and model schools model schools that have job creation potential, that has skill upliftment creation potential, and that also have room for handiwork, crafts, and functional sports in recreational facilities. These are no rocket science. Most of the resources of the nation come from there. And if they therefore identify each of the 6 states in South, develop new towns. A new town must, of course, have a new port that is linked to them. The 8th point here is development of functional partnership between governments, private sector, and the NGOs to foster environmental sustainability in this community should be implemented. My foundation, for example, we are into tree planting, advocacy for climate change mitigation and adaptation, and also teaching them green jobs. How can they just not be electricians, but also electrical personnel, craftsmen, technicians, technologists, and engineers who can install this green energy. That area is full of wind. Wind is a very natural resource that could be used for turbines, wind turbines, to create energy. The 9th point is advocacy by NGOs in their individual capacity on sustainable environmental practices and blue economic potential to propose, as we now propose, novel blue cadets to combat those among the youths of the coastal community. They should be promoted to prepare them for profitable future roles and engagement in beneficial opportunities in the blue economy. This is quite clear. In their own right, many NGOs are afraid of going towards that coastal area, but government should empower them, encourage them. In fact, if you take a trip from Warri to Burutu, or from Warri to Ayakuroma, or even more fearsomely, from Warri to Focados, you will find that those who are working there and those who are living there require to be given the same livelihood, because they are taking risks in going there to work and live. The 9th point here is advocacy by NGOs in their own right, like I've said, on sustainable environmental practices and blue economic potential to this proposed blue cadets in the schools that are there. There should be blue cadets who are also versed in green economy. Number 10, final point. In the final analysis, if the MDAs, ministries, department agencies, the NGO, and the private sector participants could collaborate as strategic partners in awareness creation, skill acquisition, scholarship grants for professional capacity building, coordinated advocacy to influence policy in maritime conservation, to stop illegal and overfishing, to promote vocational training, and economic improvement for coastal folks. Environmental sustainability will become a settled matter in the coastline communities of the South. This is the end of this. The other one, ports, infrastructure.
Can you hear me?
And private sector opportunities. I don't know whether the power has been put in place as we have for this one, but I have to be there, and don't mind. You can fire on, so you can gain time to hand over to the next speaker. But there are major ports in South, the major ports in the 535-kilometer coastline on the Atlantic Ocean of the South are in Calabar, in Calabar. We see it as the oldest port in Nigeria, even right before the migration. Calabar Port was there, and Nigeria was an important player in the post-colonial and colonial Nigeria. It is currently having a low drought and the challenge of dredging to accommodate heavy ocean-going cargoes. This challenge provides opportunity for engagement of flat barges by private operators to ferry goods to the port. In China, every challenge or crisis is an opportunity for growth and business. And therefore, this Calabar port low droughting should not seize the opportunities available for the private sector to bring in batches and bring our goods to the shore to make life easier for those in southeast and the north central area towards the northeast area, towards the north wind. The second port is the Port Harcourt on the ports. They are ancient. Only it's modern. The old Port Harcourt one is ancient because it was the route with which the colonial masters ferried goods from the far north, the central, east central, for especially coal to Port Harcourt, and even Pankane for onward journey to the British colonial ports and industries. And creating new terminals and modernizing this old port present opportunity for private sector participation. The data ports at Warri, Sapele, Burutu, and Koko are encumbered by serious capacity underutilization. This underutilization is despite the ambitious Warri to Uyeli to Asaba dual carriage expressway planned by Dr. Emmanuel Uduaga, government of Delta State, to make these ports to be easy link from the outside world to the seashore to the commercially viable market in Asaba on Onitsha, and whence to the entire southeast and south-south. It was to also provide a robust seaway and highway to the laudable project of Delta Beyond Oil. That Delta Beyond Oil is something that idea came that time, but it is still a relevant idea even now for government and the private sector to bring to reality in order to make Nigeria not only an oil producing state country, but also a country that has intense trading and industrial potential. The Benin River port at Kalege has rich historical background spanning to ancient trade between the legendary Benin Kingdom and the Portuguese in the 14th and 15th centuries. Mind you, now there's an African Free Trade Act, which, if these ports are made to function maximally to capacity, will really bring a fresh wind of opportunities for private sector in the south-south. Now we're saying,
hold on.
We are saying,
can you hear me?
We are saying, hello.
Yeah. I'll have to come in now because of our time. You know, we're supposed to round up by 1 p.m.
Okay, so, let me go straight to recommendations, please. There are about 10 points which I will briefly say in the next 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
No,
one
not 5
is that
2 minutes.
2 3 minutes. One is that we'll thank the federal government for bringing this policy life, the blue economy policy, 10-year plan. And we are saying now we commend them, but the other stakeholders, especially the MDAs and private operators, should have a 5-year infrastructural and equipment procurement master plan and sustainable procurement planning must be put in place to ensure that people be and get these projects going on, especially in the private sector. Number 2 is that the 2 to 3 years strategic plan must also be prepared and put in place by relevant government departments and agencies for the blue economic domain. Number 3 is that master plan should draw from the this policy, 10-year policy. Number 4 is that a green port, at Benin Port should be the desired target, as this is a port of recent modern time. Modern port, modern facilities should be a green port at Gelege, and from Gelege, a dry dock, a dry cargo terminal should be at Ore, Abo, and Awuchi for non-oil cargoes from Benin Port to ease the worrisome congestion in the way to large Lagos port. And this will provide opportunity for private sector participation. Number 6, the communities in the south-south coastline should have their needs assessment professionally done on facilities that will make a couple of them model marine coastal tourism destination developed in each of the coastal communities in south-south. Number 7 is that above, what I've said above should be achieved by a well-planned PPP in collaboration with the state government, private sector participants, with international funding agencies, and blending financial models that bring in a basket of serious investors should not be overlooked. Number 8 is that model coastal blue cities should be prioritized going forward as new port cities that conserve marine ecosystem, deploy renewable energy, be people-friendly, people-focused, hot sea pollution, especially plastic menace, and scholarships should be given to brilliant students of the community. Number 9 is that extant coastal towns should be rejigged to take advantage of the provisions of the policy document of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, especially with respect to upscaling the available industry, skills, and vocations in renewable energy, agropreneur, and modern shrimps and fish farming practices, improving local fishing gear and boat building in the community. I remember with sadness the Nigerian shrimp company at Orafe is defunct. Attempts must be made to revitalize this investment by the private sector as a genuine opportunity. Finally, serious work at strengthening technical and regulatory capacities, automation, digitalization in MPA, Warri, Port Harcourt, and Calabar will enable the private sector to play needed roles and improve the reliability and efficiency of services at these south-south ports. At the moment, these ports need optimal PPP in handling of cargo, maritime safety, security, further infrastructure concession and expansion to make them more competitive and meet the growing global trade and keep properly into the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your attention. God bless.
Okay. Chief, thank you so much for the very in-depth review and presentation you've made. You spoke over and beyond even our expectations. It is a very rich presentation, and Cossccima will be reaching out to you shortly, not just because of the paper you presented, but for possible areas of collaboration going forward. So with that said, we want to quickly ask...
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We want to quickly ask Ambassador Christabel to now engage in a brief Q&A rather than going to all the panelists. We can just take maybe 3 panelists of your choice, maybe NPA, then FUPRI, and 1 question to Chief because of our time. It's so please go ahead, Ambassador Christabel.
Thank you, Mr. Fidelis, and Chairman and President of Cossccima, and all panelists here present, and all our participants in this webinar. I greet you one more time. Thank you, everyone. Without any specific order, I will, given our time constraints so far, because we are right into this program, I would like to just take few questions to our panelists. And without any order of preference, I would like to throw a question to no other than the chairman, and who is wearing two caps as the chairman, and also sitting as the GM at Eco Marine Terminal Calabar. Sir, having listened to you and all the challenges, prospects that abound in running terminal operations, could you please help to highlight more strategies, given the infrastructures and the resources and the network that ECM have, to be able to bring out strategies that your organization can deploy for a more sustainable ways in the blue economy, given their ecosystem broad spectrum, and to be able to harness the Calabar South-South region. Sir, could you please throw more, just brief light on what other ways?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Like I said earlier on, you know, we are terminal operators, and when we look at the area of economic growth and its sustainability, we are here, first of all, to generate revenue for the federal government. You know, after the concession of the port, we took charge of port operation from NPA. So basically, what we are doing here is to generate revenue for the federal government. And moreover, we are here to interface with the community by creating jobs for the community. You know, if we are to go by the various sustainable development goal that we have in place and all. And in the area of trade facilitation, the strategy that we have adopted is to collaborate with some other terminal operators. Like you had me mention our interface with WAT, with Claron Shipping Line, even with APMT that is based in Lagos. We are actually looking at a situation where we will have to beef up the container handling, which we have not been doing for a while now, through the use of barges and feeder vessel and all. So once we start bringing in more containers into our terminal, I can imagine the multiplier effect it will bring to Calabar access in terms of boosting their economy and all. And for the community, you heard us talk about the various CSR that we have carried out. We have been able to, you know, renovate their town hall, their health center, and make provision for jobs, school. We even made provision for what's it called, scholarship for some of the students and all. Then in the area of fishery, like I said, I equally mentioned the fact that we have two companies that we have engaged, that we are in collaboration with. They are, you know, in the next couple of months, they are bringing in fishery business into our terminal, and that one on its own is going to add value to what we do. So it's not just about, you know, terminal operation. We are looking more into the blue economy now, so that we have a holistic perspective towards approaching the whole sector for the benefit of business and for the well-being of the community where we are operating from. I think that is the various strategy we have in place now that we are to be able to achieve that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And my question will be going to Mrs. Blessing Ngozi Osakwe Ojo, the Deputy Director, Delta States Nigerian Shippers Council. Good day, man. Thank you for your presentation, and looking at your order has been presented, there is great need of facilitating the movements in our waterways. So, ma, how is the Shippers Council realigning your policies to be able to facilitate and support this inland logistics, knowing that that will help reduce a whole lot of costs for exporters in the South-South?
Good afternoon once more. Thank you, moderator. Yes, talking about facilitating movements of cargoes or goods through our waterway. There's no better way to do that than through badges. You know, when we use badges, which can easily navigate our waterways, the creeks, you know, and all of that, it will be a lot cheaper and faster for any ship, you know, rather than going through the roads. Like we all know, you see trailers going from Lagos to Aba, to Onitsha, to all of them through the road, and you see them breaking down, falling down, the goods getting destroyed, and all of them causing hazards on the road. But if we introduce the badges, it will be a lot easier, you know, for movement of these goods through the creeks and the waterways from one point to the other. Like taking the example, the South-South that we are talking about now. We are like in Warri where I am. If all the ports are operational, or even the little that they are doing, I don't see any need for a trader in Onitsha to go through the roads to come and pick his good from. With the use of badges, they can easily have their goods delivered to their destinations. So the use of a badge or badges is it for facilitating movement through the creeks and the waterways. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Hello.
For giving. Thank you, madam. Thank you, ma, for that answer. Also, I would like to direct the third question and the last question, given our time, to Deacon Okezie Oduga, the Deputy Director at the University of Petroleum. Sir, your institution is a center for sustainability and learning. What's your immediate, given our 2025 objective of building more capacities for our coastal community and for our indigents of the South-South to be able to reorient the mindsets and equip us in harnessing and supporting the blue economy as it is going forward, sir? Could you please throw more light in that direction? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, the immediate intervention we're doing now is first looking at stakeholders and bringing them on board. Because we believe that community people, leadership at the community level, and even at the local government have a critical role to play in the implementation of sustainability, and also the marine and blue economy ecosystem. So we have champions, advocates in this area. We look at them as models and mentors who can do advocacy because we own it and it is our own, so we must sustain it. We cannot run away from what has been endowed to us. It is our duty to use it for our benefit, at the same time to sustain it for future generation. Again, our postgraduate program, we have embedded in our curriculum trainings on marine and blue economy when we talk about sustainability. And so that's tell you that we are bringing out graduates who are abreast with this new ecosystem that has a lot of potentials. I must tell you, we have even gone further when we talk about the blue economy of reaching out to the Nigerian Green Hydrogen Office, because that's an area that is within the blue economy space, the blue hydrogen and the green hydrogen, where the abundant waters we have can be used both for renewable energy and even for export purposes. The German government is really looking at that direction. So it's not only petroleum resources. The blue economy has a lot of economic and environmental potentials that we must harness. So, and lastly, not too elitist training, short, targeted training, simplified, that we should take to community, so that they themselves, their knowledge base is harnessed, and we give back to them the new where we are going, so that everybody becomes a participant in ensuring that we have a moral duty to embrace the blue economy and make it work for us. So a lot of interrogation, a lot of research, and a lot of data gathering, which we are doing, and a lot of partnership intention. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fidelis?
All right. I want to appreciate the contributions made so far, and the deep understanding that our panelists have displayed in giving their own take on the theme, and as it concerns our South-South region and Nigeria as a whole. Just in case some of us may not know that some of our members in the Chamber of Commerce are very active participants in the blue economy. I believe we still have with us Dr. David Etim. Please, if he's still with us, thank you. First of all, thank you, Christabel, for fielding the line of questions. They're very on point, and the responses also are very on point. We could have given room for everybody, but we're trying to manage the time we have left. We may not be able to go into Q&A.
Please, I have a question to ask.
Okay, I was even going to mention your name just now. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the voice of our founding president and the chairman of BOT for Cossccima. I was going to get to him after we hear from David Etim, but please, sir, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you so very much. I just wanted to ask the gentleman we just spoke about the education. I didn't hear everything he said, but I heard him talk about possible collaborations and therefrom. I want to ask, because Cossccima as it is also a training center. And we do have approval from the Federal Minister of Trade and Investment to do our annual training and investment expos. I wanted to find out if your institution can partner with Cossccima to issue certification for our members or those who will come through Cossccima to be trained in the various areas. So more or less asking to see whether your partnership can be extended to Cossccima to be like an extension of your institution. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that question is directed to Deacon Odugola. Deacon, please, you can respond to that question. He's talking about partnership, and I know you mentioned partnership in your presentation, but for his own benefit and benefit of those who did not capture what you said, please go ahead and respond.
Well, thank you so much, our able chairman. The Fulfrey Center for Sustainable Development is open for this partnership. Your brother is a lawyer. Like to engage with us to deepen conversation around research and training opportunities. So we are glad, sir, to open this window of opportunity where we can relate, discuss, and put it on papers, and we can start to do that because it's for the benefit of our people. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. So let me just finish my opportunity. Let me appreciate this trade group, a brand new trade group that is filled with a positive fire to change the economic experience of the South-South, to impact the whole world, not just only Nigeria. As a Nelson, you and your team, I want to appreciate you, and I thank the president for, in one of my write-ups, I said the president has led us well, and we should grow it and ensure that that learning curve and that leadership curve that he has introduced will continue to improve. What Mr. Nelson has done with this trade group in this few months, because I know this trade group was set up in Calabar, and now we're having such a very insightful, technical, very well presented and choreographed discussion. Let us not just end a discussion. Let us find the business opportunities that will now start to bring chamber members and non-chamber members to the chamber, that they can benefit from this event. Thank you, Mr. Fidelis, for your very stout presentation. I've taken time to listen and to watch, and I thank all of you. This is just intervention I can make at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairman. We're very grateful for your
kind words.
For your kind words. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So without further delay, we want to ask Dr. David Etim, who is a renowned, blue economist himself. He has been involved in, fisheries throughout the Gulf of Guinea. He's a jetty owner himself and an active member of the Chamber of Commerce, the immediate past president of the Calabar Chamber of Commerce. So please, Dr. David Etim, can you please take the floor? I hope he's still with us.
I am very much here. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Thank you. Firstly, I just want to leverage on the closing statement of the chairperson of Cossccima to congratulate you guys for a job very well done. I came in a bit late, but I have listened to, and I am, yes, you've put your first foot forward very well, very well. A good foot forward. Thank you. That said, let me go straight into it because I know we don't have much time. To Nelson, I just want to say I listened to your presentation, but the port manager of Calabar called me recently to notify me that they want to start bathymetric surveys.
Absolutely.
And after that, we know that the difference between bathymetric survey and dredging is a long journey. So we cannot presume that because they are doing the bathymetric survey, it's going to be automatic to dredging. We cannot presume that. But we are Christians, and we must have faith, and we must believe that it will come to pass. So we do believe it will come to pass. And I want to, at least, we have made enough noise.
Yeah.
And we've made enough noise, and I think the federal government has listened, and we are making progress. Not as fast as we would like, but we are making progress. That said, I'm very happy that a lot of people have touched on key issues. So what I want to do is basically set the stage for our second webinar. So I would leave things as posers for us to now look at addressing in the future, in the next webinar. So the overlapping role of MDAs in the country, in this ecospace. there's a lot of overlapping, which causes cost overruns, which also creates all kinds of, I won't want to use the word mess, but I will use the word mess in the system. So it creates a lot of problems.
You can use the word infraction.
Thank you. Also, I want to, the issue of single-use plastic. I believe the guy, the doctor, I think he's from PTI, who spoke and mentioned the issue of single-use plastic. This is a key issue that needs to be addressed. And I know that there's a policy of government coming up to address single-use plastic. And so we need to, maybe in our next webinar, we need to dig a little bit deeper into single-use plastic, because it creates a lot of problems along in the mangrove, in our shorelines, and it creates, even for the fish stock, single-use plastic creates a lot of problems, okay, for the aquatic life, okay? So it creates a lot of problems there. Now, also the gentleman that spoke, I would like to also have him consider to give us a presentation in the future on polymetallic nodules. Polymetallic nodules are solid minerals that are found at the seabed. Now, these solid minerals are products of plate tectonics. As the Earth moves around, at junctions of various plates rubbing each other, you have polymetallic nodules being generated. These carry a lot of solid minerals, copper, cobalt, a lot of things. And a lot of countries in the world, I mean, I attended when the International Seabed Authority came to Nigeria. I happened to be involved in that, and I took active participation in that. And I know that there is potential for Nigeria in the polymetallic nodule space mining. You know, and the reason why I'm addressing to PTI is because the depth at which...
Sorry, Dr. Etim, it's not PTI, it's FUPRI.
Sorry?
FUPRI. It's FUPRI, not PTI.
Okay, FUPRI. Sorry, FUPRI. Okay,
yes.
Okay. So anyway, polymetallic nodules are something that we need to begin to look at in our ecosystem, because it provides, it's a solid mineral which, you know, gives us additional potentials in the South-South. Then the issue of port operations, inefficiencies, and corruption in the system, which creates a huge cost overrun. Now, a lot of the port of Cotonou, 90% of the goods that go to the port of Cotonou are Nigerian-bound cargo. The reason why they go to Cotonou is because of the cost overruns due to inefficiencies in our ports. You know, while some of these things, speaking on behalf of a port operator like ECM terminals, your costs are not the challenge. I remember in 2019 when we supported Magiza to come through Calabar Port, and they came through. One of their biggest challenges were the non-quayside expenditures. Let me call it that. So accessing the channel, the issues, the cost of accessing the channel up to the quayside, all those costs were extremely frustrating for them. Now, I happen to belong to a group called the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network, which has been tackling this matter at the federal level. And so we are looking at, in fact, there's some things I'm working on that we are going to test the Calabar port environment very soon. Between now and October, we'll be creating situations that will test the ability for the anti-corruption network to tackle these issues in the Calabar port ecosystem. So this is something that we're looking at, and something that we want to bring forward in our future engagements, how we address the issue of corruption in the maritime space as a topic. Then also the mindset of MDAs in the area. Most MDAs in Nigeria see themselves, especially in this space, see themselves as revenue collectors, as opposed to economic and trade facilitators. So you see them pursuing revenue, whether it's MPA, with all due respect to Shippers Council, who are the economic regulators of the port ecosystem, port environment, even they are pursuing revenue as opposed to facilitating trade. They speak to facilitating trade, but when you see them on the field, it's a different kettle of fish. Or let me say, it's a different animal you see in the field than what you hear in a presentation such as this. So we need to be able to match our words with action. Now, on the area of the single window, I'm happy the lady from Shippers Council spoke to the issue of the single window project, which is a key component in reducing or eliminating corruption in the ecosystem. Well, the government of the day says they are addressing that heads on. The taste of pudding is in the eating. You know, let us have faith, like in the dredging of Calabar Port. Let us keep faith and hope that it will come. We will live to see it come through. Also, speaking in that, the issue of the cargo tracking note, which also supports this issue of decorrupting the ecosystem. Let's see how that comes along. We look forward to that. Then on the issue of fisheries, I would like us to consider the only country in West Africa that has a close season, which is a season where it's no more fishing. You know, so you give, especially, and this is especially during the spawning seasons of fisheries, where you give the fish stocks the opportunity to rebuild themselves. Only Ghana practices close season for now.
Outside my room.
So I think I would like us to begin to advocate as Cossccima, as Cossccima, Waricima, Wasima, all of us working together, advocate for the possibilities of the institution of closed season, so that will drive restocking of the natural restocking of our aquatic resources. Now, on the issue of deforestation, now the relationship between the blue and the green economies are inextricable. So the fact that in the South that hosted most of our virgin forests, you know, when we see people from the northern parts of the country talking about the Zambiza forest, and you take a satellite picture of Zambiza forest, and it looks like my orchard at the backyard of my grandfather's house, and you say, is that what they are calling a forest? They should come and see what forests look like. Now, we have lost a lot of our forests, virgin forests, due to logging. Now, as we know, carbon sequestration, which is trying to rebuild the ozone layer, because of this deforestation, we are losing capacity for carbon sequestration. And that then creates the situation that the temperatures of the sea begin to heat up. Now, with that change in temperature, the fisheries, the aquatic livestock, the aquatic stock begins to deplete because the temperature is not what the fish is used to, and it begins to affect their reproductive cycles, and we begin to see the extinction of species. So we need to address this also in this blue economy engagement. Now, in my closing, I would like to address two other things. The issue of the private sector. I believe that the private sector in the South has been slow in its awakening, because we should be the initiators of change in our environment, because government is government. You know, and most of the time, government likes to lock themselves in a room, come out with a policy that is disconnected from the operators of the ecosystem, and try to implement that policy. And that's why we find a lot of policies that exist, look beautiful on paper, but are unimplementable because of that disconnect with the operator. So I do believe, and I stand firmly in driving this, that the private sector, as represented by Cossccima and its other city chamber members, should begin to push for the initiation of policy. Don't wait to be reactive to policy. Let's begin to initiate drives to policy, because that is really what our role is under advocacy. We should be policy initiators and drive that for policies that we initiate to be implemented. So we should begin to do that more aggressively. Now, also, my final closing, the lady from the Inland Waterways, when asked a question by Christabel on the issue of inland waterways, and she was talking about the inland waterways. So I want to leave us all with this poser. How navigable are our inland waterways? We talk about wanting to use barges. How navigable are those? When you put a container on a barge, that barge goes into the water. Depending on the displacement of that barge, may it run aground? So we need to think about these things, and let's not just let's not just speak to the issue in the open fora, and then the practicalization of what we speak to is not practicable because the environment is not conducive. Let us try to match our environment to what we say, and as private sector now, let us hold government's feet to the fire. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, and very well done, guys. Very, very well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
Well, Mr. David Etim, I just want to appreciate you. Thank you for your contributions. And you actually spoke to all the presentations made by the panelists, and you did justice to it. And you also raised posers and things that people wish, everybody that came will still consider going forwards. Well, like you said, this is the first edition of the Cossccima Blue Economy webinar. There will surely be a second edition going forwards, and not just a webinar. We're looking at a situation whereby we're going to be having physical Blue Economy summits, where we're going to physically invite people to come and speak to pertinent issues as it concerns the Blue Economy, and hopefully we may come up with communiques that we can try to run with going forward. Even with these conversations that we've had, there are certain recommendations we're going to make to the state government and private government and private institutions represented in this platform, after commending them and appreciating them for allowing their representatives speak at this forum. So that said, I want to let our people on the chat room, I want to let you just apologize that we may not have the time to take the questions, but because our time is already up, but we are going to reach out to all our participants one way or the other and keep the conversation going. It doesn't end with this webinar. It will surely be continued. I've already put our email address for all to who are serious about the blue economy and the development of the blue economy in the South, and even in Nigeria, to bring in your contributions, bring in your questions. We will still continue to tackle them. So please be encouraged. Don't be discouraged that we're not going to answer the questions now, because like I said, our time is up and we have to put this thing to a close. But having said that, I cannot round up by myself. I want to give the opportunity to the chairman of the Blue Economy Trade Group to give his parting thoughts or words. And also, if the president is still with us, the president of Cossccima, he too can give his own vote of thanks at the end of the speech given by the chairman. So, Chairman, Mr. Nelson Ovude, the ball is your court. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Fidelis. I want to appreciate all the attendees, the panelists, everyone that made this happen. This is just the first time we are having this. It's the maiden one. Like we heard from David Etim, we still have a lot of work to do. We are going to have a follow-up to this in no time. I want to use this opportunity to thank everybody for making it a date with us, and we want to assure you that the next edition will be more robust than this. Thank you so much, panelists. We shall be reaching out to you to call you to come and deliver paper as well. So be ready to hear us out. And for everyone that has participated, I think we have a certificate that we are going to issue at the end of the day for being a participant for the program. We are giving out a certificate. And let me equally thank the president of Cossccima for giving us the opportunity to serve. God bless you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this. God bless you. And let me sign out for the president to take over from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. So, President, Honorable Idutuniko Munibo, please.
Yes, I hope you can see my face. I hope you can see my face now very well.
We can't see your face yet, too. Okay,
yes, now we can see your face.
Can you see it now?
We can see it.
Yes, you need to bend the camera. Bend the camera, sir.
Bend the camera, sir.
Yes.
Better, we can see the fine face now.
It is a lot better, sir.
Now here we go.
Thank you. I want to most sincerely thank, first of all, the chairman of this trade group and the anchor persons, the moderators, the participants, the stakeholders, the resource persons, the panelists. On behalf of the Coalition of South-South Chambers of Commerce, Cossccima, I want to say thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. It was very insightful and a lot of take-home. One thing I realized that we have a lot of policies, and implementation most times is a problem. I think what we should do to add to advocacy is to make sure that in the South-South region, our governors and those who are in the saddle of authority should also implement these policies. I think it's better for us to walk the talk than talk the walk. I want to thank you once again, the chairman, BOT, thank you very much for the vast experience. David Etim, I want to thank you. And then for every other panelist, I enjoyed the presentations given by the representative of FUPRI, the Shippers Council, every other person. I want to thank all of you. I'm so excited because this is the first and the maiden webinar we're organizing for this trade group. And I think that has encouraged me to do more for other trade groups. Once again, thank you, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, President. We're very
Thank you. Bless you too, President.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you
much.
too.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
So just like what the President has said, for all our participants and the panelists, we will be reaching out to you through your email with the certificates. One, of course, is a certificate that the President has given us the permission to, and the Chairman as well, to issue out Cossccima Blue Economy Ambassador certificates to the panelists in particular. You know, so we'll be reaching out to the panelists with those certificates shortly, and by email, and letters of commendation to your organization as well for allowing you represent them in this inaugural webinar that we're hosting. Like what the President said, we must walk the talk and not just talk the walk, borrowing his own language. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you, Chief Christopher Echukura. I mean, we are going to be reaching out to you, MPA, Mr. Ahmad Wanka. We're going to be reaching out to you and all the panelists. You did justice to the theme, and we are very, very grateful. May God bless you. And for all of our participants, those from Nigeria, in Nigeria, within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, who have contributed through the chat box, we want to appreciate you as well. Remember that we will be reaching out to you through your emails as you have shared, and we will take it from there and send you what we have said we will send you. Ambassador Christabel, you're a blessing as usual. Thank you for your contribution and helping to moderate this inaugural program. David Etim, God bless you for what you've done. And for everybody, God bless you. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Chief Fidelis. You did
well done.
we really appreciate your push. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Is there opportunity for group photograph? Technical, can you take group photograph of all the panelists? Is it possible? If it's possible, give me a thumbs up somehow.
No, I don't think that is possible.
You can join our first with your own and take.
Exactly. If it's possible, let him put the faces and snap.
Join our faces with your own and not take it.
It's possible.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you very much for your doggedness. I give it to you.
Thank you so much.
I give it to you. Bless you.
Right. My regards to Dr.
Thank you.
Poliwe. My regards to her.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer.
Have a great day.
God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Madam.
God bless you.
Signing out. This is Fidelis.
Thank you.
Signing out.
Bye. Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you,
Love you,
Chairman.
everyone. Bye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. God bless you. Bye.
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 Bye.